and Jenga, and they're half brothers. Pompey is 13 and Jenga is 3. Did you know that a giraffe's heart is almost as big and as heavy as a human head? Now, as we get on this hill, the enclosure coming up on our right-hand side, if you look right by the barn, you can spot our African lions. We have 2 females named Mally and Callie, and 1 male named Boomer. Our 2 females were born here at the Greater Vancouver Zoo, but our male lion came to us under some very weird circumstances. In fact, he was a pet of a gentleman who lived in Toronto. Now, I don't think I need to tell you this, but having a lion as a pet is not a good idea, and it is extremely illegal. Now, this enclosure next up on our right-hand side, this is the home to our beautiful but vicious 8-year-old Siberian tiger, Hannah. Siberian tigers are the largest member of the cat family. Did you know that the stripes on a tiger's fur are not only on their fur, but is actually embedded into their skin, kind of like a tattoo? Now, this enclosure coming up on our right-hand side, this is the home to our collar peccary. This animal looks like a pig, it eats like a pig, and it most definitely smells like a pig, but it is not a pig, although it does have a common ancestor. Now, this enclosure next up on our right-hand side, this is the home to our 21 pink flamingos. We have 2 different types of flamingos here at the zoo. We have one Chilean flamingo, and his name is Chili Mingo, and all of our other flamingos come from the Caribbean. Did you know that flamingos are not born pink? They're born a dull gray, and sometimes even white. They get their pink coloration from the food that they eat, which is very high in beta-carotene. Now, this may sound silly, but if you or I would eat the same amount of beta-carotene that our flamingos here at the zoo do, we, surprisingly, would turn pink as well. Now, up next, we will be entering our train tunnel, so I'll see you all on the other side. As we exit our train tunnel on our left-hand side, this is the home to our male population of Roosevelt elk. We're going to get a pretty good view as they are laying pretty close to the fence. Now, Roosevelt elk are the loudest and the largest species of elk, and their antlers are the fastest growing bone in the world, and can grow up to 1 inch a day. And at the end of their antlers growing period, 1 antler can weigh up to 50 pounds. Next up on our right-hand side, this is the home to our 2 hippos. We have Hayden and Tazina. Now, if you look just getting into the water there, you can see one of our hippos. Now, both of our hippos here at the zoo are weighing in at just under 4,000 pounds. Could you imagine carrying all that weight? Hippos are classified one of the most dangerous animals and are known for taking down speedboats in the water. Over to our left-hand side, you can spot one of our moose. We have two moose here at the zoo named Oakleaf and Jester.
वो देखिए कितने सारे बाइसन जा रहे हैं देखिए बाइसन वो बड़े बड़े
Now the enclosure down on our right-hand side is the home to our white-tailed deer. White-tailed deer were made famous by Walt Disney and were used as a model for the Disney movie Bambi. Now over to our left-hand side, you can spot our two North American plain bison, along with our female population of Roosevelt elk. Now over to our left-hand side, this is the home to our two cougars. We have Rocket and Rosie. Both our cougars here at the zoo are rescued animals. Now they are laying down in their shelter in their enclosure. Now up next, we will be passing over our train trestle. So hold on to your belongings and your small children, because it's a long way down. Over to our left-hand side is where you can go to see Shadow, our grizzly bear. And we have our two disabled bald eagles, Max and Meredith, and our three baby black parakeets, Basil, Rosemary, and Thyme. Now the enclosure down on our right-hand side, this is the home to our Arctic wolves. Now they do tend to hide out in those bushes in the middle of their enclosure or closer to their barn. Arctic wolves are a subspecies of the gray wolf, and they use the white fur that they have to help them blend in with the snow. Now the enclosure next up on our right-hand side, through these trees, this is the home to our two red foxes, Holly and Mayhem. Now despite the name Red Fox, both our red foxes are black in color. And over to our right-hand side, if you look closer into the back of their enclosure, you can spot our reindeer. We have 6 reindeer here at our zoo, and they are also known as caribou. Reindeer are the only species of deer that both the males and the females both grow antlers. Now this next enclosure on our right-hand side, this is the home to Arun, our red panda. Now if you look at the back of the trees, you may be able to spot him laying down. Despite the name red panda, they are not related to pandas, but are more closely related to raccoons and skunks. Now the enclosure next to Arun is the home to our 3 camels. We have 2 dromedary camels, which means they have 1 hump, named Nimit and April, and 1 back-trained camel, which means she has 2 humps, named Gemma. Did you know that camels can drink up to 100 liters of water in just 10 minutes? Now these 2 enclosures on our left-hand side are shared between 3 different animals. We have some Sika deer, which you can see with the white spots. Sika deer are the only species of deer that both the males and the females both keep their spots all the way through adulthood. And also in this enclosure, we have a deer that looks a little different than the other ones and a little bit bigger. And that is our pair David's deer. Pair David's deer are unfortunately extinct in the wild. Now, as we go around this corner, on our right-hand side, this is the home to our scimitar horned oryx. Unfortunately, these animals are also extinct in the wild and rely on breeding programs in zoos. They are part of our species survival plan. A very interesting fact about these animals is that they can raise their body temperature up to 47 degrees Celsius to avoid sweating and to conserve water. Over to our left-hand side, you can spot our 3 ADACs. ADACs are the animal best adapted to their lifestyle. In fact, they never need to drink water because they get enough from the food that they eat. And on our right-hand side, you can spot our 2 Zebu cattle. Zebu have a hump on their back similar to camels. And on our left-hand side, you can spot our Sahara, our zebra. Did you know no 2 zebras have the exact pattern of stripe? Just like how no 2 humans have the exact same fingerprint. Now, in order to make it up this last hill, I am going to need to increase the speed of the train. But on our right-hand side, this is known as our African savanna, which is home to our common elands and our ostriches. Common elands are the world's largest species of antelope, but also the slowest. Ostriches, on the other hand, are the world's largest and the fastest species of bird, reaching speeds up to 70 kilometers per hour. However, they are not the most intelligent creatures. In fact, their eyes are bigger than their brains. One ostrich eye is approximately 2 inches across. Now, despite being a species of a bird, ostriches cannot actually fly. They use those massive wings and those massive feathers that they have to help them change direction while running. Now, as we make our way back to the train station, I want to remind you all to stay seated until the train has come to a complete stop and the engine has been turned off. Please stay seated until a staff member has told you to exit the train, as we are unloading the back of the car first. Thank you all so much for coming. Have a good rest of your day here at the zoo. And remember to stay wild.